It's waiver wire week 8, and we're going deep at the running back position. We're starting off shallow and going deeper, looking at those handcuffed running backs, just in case you want to shuffle the chairs on the deck of the Titanic before we hit the iceberg here later in the season. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. I go deeper than anybody else when it comes to the waiver wire, deeper than any other YouTube channel, most fantasy sites. Matter of fact, we analyze those sites as well, let you know how they're looking on the waiver wire. On top of that, we're helping you set your lineups by doing player rankings and looking at every single game, every single matchup. And then we're deep diving all the trending players and plus some of those backup players that you're wondering about. Click that button. Stop missing out. Free resource right here because I'm dropping advanced analytics that are hard to get. It's all right here. It's free. Ric Flair's watching. Do not disappoint Ric Flair. But Brashard Smith, of course, he is the guy that's getting talked up in big fantasy football right now because he started doing stuff on the field. He got you 13.1 PPR fantasy points. Nobody really got hurt, so there's no one really to anoint. So this is a good week to shuffle your handcuff running backs and look at your bench and reorder it. Maybe you want a different handcuff. Maybe you do need to handcuff your stub running back now that we're deeper into the season. Maybe you need that lottery ticket. You don't have to hold them from weeks 1 through 7 now. You can pick them up and see if they fire weeks 10 through 12 or whatever. See if that happens for you. Now, if you want Lady Luck to hit, she is more likely to blow you that kiss if you pick up the random young running backs because if the starter goes down, the ambiguous nature of that running back, the upside from the draft capital, everything else, size adjusted athleticism, player profile, whatever, could come to effect. And that could be a lottery ticket that cashes later in the season. Brashard Smith's getting more work. We've been talking about him on the waiver wire, preseason, everything else for a bit. This is a guy we're monitoring because he's a gadget player for the Chiefs. I imagine he's going to start ramping up here once we get deeper into the season, and it might be after that Week 10 bye. Kyle Money Guy. I look at him as a restructure of your stashes. Some of you guys lost Kendre Miller, blown his ACL, and you're looking for another stash. He's getting work. He's always been getting work in this offense. It's going to be matchup dependent whether or not he scores for you in fantasy. A lot of waiver wire sites in big fantasy football just chasing the fantasy points here. But as an asset here, stash running back just in case DeAndre Swift goes down. And he's good because he's a late round pick, good meat and potatoes grinder with good vision. Any other year, he would have got drafted a little bit sooner because this was a very deep and talented running back class. We're starting to see him turn out some work on the field, starting to look good. This is another stash to look at. Nick Chubb. I have him as stash status, but more of a random gamble play. Should be rostered in a lot of leagues, also getting waived in a lot of leagues. Is he a guy that I'm referring to pick up? No, but he could be randomly there. I would rather have ambiguous backup running backs. His purpose is to just throw in the random game scripts because he will pop off randomly. He's done that twice this season, and he's getting enough work. He got 8 opportunities last night, but enough work to where he could surprise you if you're that dire. More for deeper leagues right now, traditional 12-team leagues. The upside really isn't there unless something happens to Woody Marks. Woody Marks should be rostered. But we're starting shallow because you can't get deep till you get through the shallow. Should be rostered, but he hasn't been usable in 2 weeks, and he really has scored twice for you in fantasy football. The other games, 0.3, 6, 4, 2, and then he could be on your waiver wire, could not be. If he's there, pick him up because we might be seeing some juice after the bye week. Rookies see more juice after the bye week. That's a trend. That's not an all-the-time thing, but it's a trend you could see. Again, I expect him to be rostered, but we're going through the shallow to get to the deep. Tyler Allgeier, he needs to be rostered. He needs to be rostered. He's getting enough workload where we know that he's going to be the man if Bijan Robinson goes down. And then on top of that, when compared to other handcuff running backs, you could use him if you're dire enough. He's hit 3 weeks this season. He's hit about as much as Woody Marks and Nick Chubb together. Like 1 game off. If you look at it in that round, we just talked about him. They hit 4 games combined. He's hit 3 games when it comes to hitting the fairway. and hitting the fairway when you're looking at jabroni running backs is what you could ask for. And then on top of that, you're gambling for more on some of the upside backs. Tyjae Spears. I ain't chasing Titans. A lot of sites are talking about him because he's starting to get more work. He usually does produce a couple big weeks every year, the last couple seasons. That's something to look at here. Tony Pollard is seeing a reduction in opportunity, but he's also getting work in the passing game. Tyjae Spears might have a game or two. It's just something I'm not chasing, but he's also rosterable right now. Kenneth Gainwell. I don't trust Arthur Smith. I don't trust him at all. They're using Jalen Warren a lot. He's looking good. I think he'll have a couple big games this season, maybe like 1 or 2 more, 3 max, unless something happens to his backfield. But he's definitely rosterable as a stash because if something happens to Warren, he's going to see the workload. Caleb Johnson will get mixed in a little bit, maybe like 6 carries here and there. But still, Kenneth Gainwell is a cuff in this offense. Brian Robinson, we know what we're doing with him. Christian McCaffrey goes down. He's coming up. Everyone blowing the fab. He's a cuff to a lot of CMC aficionados right now. And the fact is, like, you're going to have to cuff your studs soon. You're going to have to make sure you got that cuff in because you don't want to be in the playoffs. Then all of a sudden your stud goes down and the guy that's sitting there in the other bracket's just picking up your dude that you could have had cuffed. Manny Wilson. Josh Jacobs is rolling. Josh Jacobs, though, calf injury, playing through that. Maybe it happens like Chuba Hubbard, maybe not. I'm not saying he's a pickup 100%. He's also getting a good opportunity share. 34% snap share, highest of the season. Multiple games last year where he hit 10 plus PPR fantasy points. He's a cuff. He's a stash. Really depends on what you want to do with your stash. If you want to shoot for more ambiguous upside, or if you want to get somebody who's getting touches, that's a little bit safer. It's all dependent on the starter going down anyways. Jaydon Blue, like I said, ambiguous upside. Ambiguous upside. We're starting to see more work. 22% snap share, 9 and 18% in the prior 2 weeks, 7 rushing attempts, 1 target, blowout game script. We got Denver coming up, Arizona, but we're an injury away. We're an injury away. And this is a very, very explosive running back. Catch the ball at the back. He looked good at training camp. He looked good. He got banged up. He was a raw prospect coming in. We missed some training camp. It's going to take him some time, though, to feel it. It's going to take him some time to get to the speed of the game. But ambiguous upside lottery ticket, not a running back you're looking for lineups. And also, he's an injury away. Tyrone Tracy, he's explosive. He could be a lottery ticket dart throwing lineups right now, but nothing you're going to depend on or have expectations for. But he's also an injury away from seeing this backfield with a running back with him as a 1A that's looking to catch CTE on every given touch. That being said, if you're deep enough, sure, mostly you're looking for more upside in other places, but this could be a strategy you want to implement considering how you feel about Scatterboo. Devin Neal. I love talking some Devin Neal. And I did not know if we were going to get here because the Saints kept bringing in jabroni running backs in training camp, and I knew it was getting murky. The fact that he outlasted those, we had Kendre Miller, he was popping off pretty good. But Devin Neal, he's getting a deep dive. You need to know about Devin Neal. So if something happens to Kamara, Devin Neal could be up. This is a good running back prospect at Kansas. Productive throughout his entire career. Good vision. Fell in the draft a little bit, but it was a deep running back class. And he's not a zealot when it comes to size adjust athleticism per the combine, but a good meat and potatoes running back that can get it done. And we saw him on some pass blocking plays last week. He was holding his own. Now, over a larger sample, that could be different. But Devin Neal's a good running back prospect in this year's draft. Blake Corum, as always. As always, he's a stash for Kyron Williams. Like, if I got Kyron, I got Blake. If I got Kyron, I got Blake. Maybe you patch that up next week, considering you got to buy. But if Kyron goes down, he's getting the touches. He's getting the workload. Hunter's not getting the workload yet. They like to bring in new players, at least at the running back position, and wide receiver a little bit slower unless they're flashing big. They did that with Kyron. They're doing that with Blake. They're doing that with Hunter. That's something to pay attention to going forward. But Blake Corum is getting work, and that's what I'm looking at. And also, there's moments on the field where he's looking good, looking explosive. It's on a small sample, but still, Corum is a stash. Ollie Gordon is a stash, but this offense is horrible. Coaches get fired. Tua is throwing picks left and right. Not an advantageous situation. Good running back, though. One to Doak Walker. At one time, one of the top running backs in all college football. Fell in the draft. Has a Dewey to his name. So one of the reasons why he fell. Also, that final year, a little bit lesser production, but still, good running back. Good running back. Bhayshul Tuten. I believe he's rostered in most cases. He's a decorated handcuff. Also, Travis Etienne, if he goes down, he's taking over that spot. He's a cuff to Etienne. He's a lottery ticket stash. Nothing more until something changes. Kaleb Johnson is now a lottery ticket stash. All it takes is one of those two running backs to go down. And running backs go down. That's the running back position. This is a decorated running back from Iowa. He's very good in space. He's got good vision. He's got good size. He's not getting opportunity because he's raw in other aspects. Pass blocking, only 62 pass blocking snaps in college because he was the whole offense. The whole offense, as in the leading wide receiver, only saw 46 targets in this offense last year. Like, he was the whole offense. All defenses had to key in on him. He was able to beat that. However, like pass blocking, maneuvering with the ball not in his hands, some of that stuff, some of the things transitioning to the Steelers offense, considering you already got Jaylen Warren, who's nasty in those aspects. You're bringing him along slowly. Most of his training camp was working on pass protection. They were doing extra reps, extra drills with that. I covered training camp in the offseason hard because I know these nuggets and I can relay and give you that story so you can get an idea why things are happening and materializing. And even though sometimes it could be wrong, like I got the information that other people ain't working hard to get. That's why you need to click that subscribe button right now. But he's a good stash. Isaiah Davis. Jets make it not so good stash, but he's also an injury away. And touches matter at the running back position. You could be a shitty running back, and it's 1 out of 3 games. Because you cross that goal line, you're getting to the fairway. It's usually about 1 out of 3 games when you see a real shitty running back hit for you in fantasy. Look at the Cardinals' backs. Like, some of them are hitting the fairway still, and they're being shit. They're not even hitting 3 yards of carry. They're struggling to get there. The Cardinals' backs are giving you a little bit in some of these games. Look at Trey Sermon last year. Had 3 starts, hit the fairway on 1. That could help you out if you're in dire need for a start and you know it's a dice roll gamble 1 out of 3 times. Jeremy McNichols here. Now, he's getting some work. He's looking explosive in space. They're hurt at the quarterback position. I'm not chasing it. He's also in a lot of waiver wire articles. I think there's a lot of other high-end lottery ticket handcuff running backs to chase. Sean Tucker. Honestly, we need Rachaad White to go down, and that's whether Bucky's in or out. We need Rachaad White to go down. We saw that last year. We're not getting opportunities. It was a busted-ass game script for sure. He got a touchdown last week in week 6 against the 49ers. Still talented, still a fun running back, one of the top running backs in college football at the time. Is so talented, even though he was a UDFA, was able to hold his role, even though they kept bringing in stud running backs. Good running backs. That's one thing to note. Fantasy, not so much, but that's something to pay attention to because on a roster, on a depth chart, teams are going to value him. Ray Davis. If James Cook goes down, you want Ray Davis, and that's it. That's it. If James Cook goes down, you want Ray Davis. You want him. He's going to get a bulk of the work, bulk of the carries, bulk of the handoffs, likely get some touchdowns mixed in there, get a little bit of work in the pass game. We saw that last year. He'll get you to RB2 production. You'll be fine with it. You won't love it. You'll miss James Cook. And Ty Johnson is a threat to outscore Ray Davis on any given Sunday. It's just not as safe, more volatile. Because we've seen this already last year. We're seeing this already this year. And we know his prospect profile. He's good at catching balls out of the backfield. He's explosive in space. So if Cook goes down, you're like, man, who do I pick up? Johnson or Ray Davis? Who do I do this? Now you can speculate on how much fab you want to drop. It's later in the season, so you may just drop all the fab on Ray Davis anyways. But Ty Johnson, if you want to be cheap or if you don't have a lot of fab, you can always go to him. He's more of a gamble thrower. Like, he can outscore Ray Davis. That's why if I do a battle video with him, I will be a little wishy-washy with that because he has potential to do that. He's very explosive. He's going to be used in the passing game. He's just going to be more inconsistent. MarShawn Lloyd, IR stash. There's not many IR stashes at the running back position. Pick him up, put him in your IR. Whoever you drop, just backfill him with something off the waiver wire. you're good to go. Abdullah is starting to siphon touches on the Colts. He was good with the Raiders last year, had a good run. He might have a good run if Jonathan Taylor's out. He is messing with our boy DJ Giddens, but he's also a good stash as ambiguous upside. As upside as in if he gets the opportunity, something happens, he has potential to give you RB1 numbers. He showed that at Kansas State, has a good profile, electric in space, can catch the ball in the backfield. Still somebody to pay attention to. TreVeyon Henderson is now in a different role for fantasy football. He is now a different asset class. You're not looking at him for lineups right now. However, he's a stash play. Now you're looking at him versus the other stash plays. Do you want him, Caleb Johnson, Monangai, whatever. Strategize with what you already got on the roster. Like if I got Bhayshul, Tyler Allgeier's a little bit more safer for me, just in case as an insurance policy. Also look at these as insurance policies because when that injury happens to the starter, you don't have to blow fab. You don't have to blow your budget. You can blow your budget anywhere else. And that last spot on your roster does not mean shit. You're not starting that player 90% of the time. So really, you're taking L's. Whatever that player's doing, you're taking L's. Whether they're scoring 12, 9, whatever, you're taking L's there. It ain't helping it. But a stash play, if they get anointed, now you got a flex scenario, especially at the running back position. As I just taught you guys, and as you saw with the Rams, a wide receiver backup, the targets ain't going to go straight to them. It's going to spread out, and the workload's going to change entirely with the offense. With the running back, they step up. You may want Hendo still as a stash, but now he's in the stash class when it comes to running backs. Tank Bigsby got some work. A.J. Dillon, healthy scratch. This could be a three-way tandem with Philly, so that's something to pay attention to. Also with Will Shipley, A.J. Dillon. Could be a three-way tandem if Saquon Barkley goes down with a major injury, but still got to call that out. Tank got some work. Dillon, healthy scratch. Will Shipley's very explosive, former 5-star prospect. Also indicating that Will Shipley has his own role in the offense. That's something to exploit. If you're wondering which running backs to pick up, at least you know, like, he's going to be getting work in the passing game. He's going to get his own touches, his own opportunity share. Versus A.J. Dillon and Tank Bigsby, they're probably going to be fighting it out. Those are the pickups and stashes at running back this week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I'll have wide receivers for you later today, so you know the wide receiver pickups. We'll be talking more about running back stashes on Thursday. We'll be helping you set your lineups this week as well. Click that button. Stop missing out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.